Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Open eCrime market commentary for the week of December 10th. My name is Toby Gennaro from Trade with Precision, and just coming to you this week with the outlook for the markets. And first up, just taking a look at the S&P 500 and looking at the ES futures to determine that. Starting here with the higher time frames here, looking at the monthly chart. Really nothing's changed here. Obviously, we just started a new month candle, but from the last month in November, had a very bullish candle right there, right in and amongst that 10 and 20 period buy zone, and really looking to break the high of that candle, which is 1431.75. So once we get a break of that candle, that'll confirm the move back higher. As we look through this trend over the last couple years from the low back in 2009, we can see that every time we've pulled back into these averages, getting a bullish candle, we take off, put in a new high, come back, set up another bullish candle, back off to another high, set up another bullish candle, back off to another high, and it looks like we're going to be repeating the same exact pattern right here. As we move over to the weekly chart, we can see the same thing in terms of these pullbacks. We just got a nice pullback, and now we have higher highs, and we're breaking some very nice bullish candles here in the last 2 weeks. And if we can get a break of that 1419 level, actually to be a little bit more precise, the most recent candle is 1424. If we can get a break of high that this week, we should be moving back up to the highs. Not necessarily all in this week, but we should be making another push higher. Moving down to the daily chart, we can see that we're not really setting up a flat level there, but we are looking for a second touch right around that level. Don't have a lot of overextension from the moving averages, so it seems like we can still get a move higher from here. As we move over to the 480 chart, we do have kind of a double touch right there, and we've got a little bit of divergence here. But if in these strong uptrends, when we have all the charts moving in the same direction, everything moving to the upside, a lot of times what will happen is you get a break of this level, and then all of a sudden when it puts in a new high, you'll also see the indicators put in a new high or an equal high as well. So it wouldn't be put off too much by that slight bit of divergence there on the 480. If we get that across multiple time frames, like the 480, the 240, and the 120, then we're probably looking for a little bit more of an extended pullback. But for right now, looks like we're going to be pushing higher. Really, depending upon what news we have coming out this week, is going to be probably one of the things that's going to determine that. But as far as the technicals are concerned, definitely staying bullish and looking to buy the pullbacks in this upward momentum. And then moving over to the small cap stocks, looking at the Russell 2000 and the TF futures contract. And starting here with the monthly chart, have a very similar setup here as we did on the ES for the month of November. Very bullish candle right there in the buy zone amongst the 10 and 20 period moving average. And then the December candle starting right there. It hasn't broken the high of that candle yet. 829.10 is the high of the December candle, and 829.80 is the high of the November candle. So as soon as we get a break of that 829.80 level, we should be back off into this, running into this 857 level. And as you can see, we've already had 3 touches there. So we're probably going to move back up there and possibly get a consolidation and then potentially a break of that. Not all going to happen this week, but obviously this is a monthly chart, so these candles take a lot of time to form. But as we move over to the weekly chart, we can see that the most recent pullback, and then we've got really just breaking the high of each candle. And so this candle a couple weeks ago was sitting right around 828.10, and then we had 829.10 and broke the high of that. And so this week we'd be looking to go from 825.20 and look to break the high of that 829.10 level. If we can get that break, more than likely that next level of resistance might come in right around that 850 level. And so moving down to the daily chart, we can get a little bit more granular in terms of some of the candles. We've got this level right here around 828. Really a lot of indecisive candles right along that area, but the moving averages are really catching up to the price action, which says there's going to be some pressure here on this 828 level, and then potentially a break. And then the next level we'd be looking at is right around that 841 level. And then we can start looking at the levels after that 852 and then back up to that most recent high of 864. So everything looking really bullish here on the daily, the weekly, the monthly, and just then looking for those trend flow setups or some of those flat level breaks to then get long and follow the upward momentum on the TF contract for the Russell 2000. And looking at the dollar CAD pairing and just checking out some of the higher time frames here, the monthly chart definitely making momentum is down, making lower highs, lower lows. We've had a little bit of a consolidation here. It looks like we're going to be breaking down at least down to that previous level of 94. And then on the weekly chart, a little bit choppy down here, but we have lower high, we have a lower low, lower high again, and it looks like might be taking another leg lower. As we get a little bit more granular down here on some of the smaller time frames, like the daily chart, just had a little bit of that rally right here on the weekly chart. Looks like this on the daily chart. Had some higher highs, higher lows, and then we're all of a sudden getting in lower highs, lower lows, and then we finally just broke that low right there just on today's candle. And then if we look on the 480 chart, then we can start to see some trades set up on some of those lower time frames where we're just following the higher time frame momentum. So one level I'd be looking at is right now we have a little bit of extension from the moving averages here, the 10 and the 20. If we can get a rally back up into this 99 level, that'll put us right back in to that previous support level that should now become resistance, and then start to look for those setup candles in the sell zone amongst the 10 and 20 period moving average. And then I'd be looking to take the break of that setup candle back down to this low here of 98.6. And then look for these setups on not only the 480 chart but the 240 and the 120. So that's kind of what we're looking for on the dollar CAD and how that sets up in terms of the higher time frame movements to the downside, the momentum to the downside, and then looking for those short trades on some of those intermediate time frames. So there's the outlook for a few markets for this week. And we'd like to thank you all for watching the Open eCry market commentary for the week of December 10th. And we do look forward to speaking to you next week on the Market Update.